What's your name and your profession?
My name is Judy Thompson, and I'm a professor of business administration at Briarcliff University.
Are you bilingual? If yes, how has this helped you through your career? If no, can you think of a time it may have helped you?
I would not say I am bilingual. I took a lot of French. I can still read French, but I can only speak it slowly in the present tense. And I haven't had too much call to use it, although we do have some students from Africa. Absolutely. I wish I had taken Spanish. We certainly have a lot of students who do talk Spanish, and it would be nice to be able to kind of make them feel a little bit more comfortable in their new surroundings.
About a specific time you needed this skill or have used your skill?
Yes, my brother lives in Florida, and sometimes there are certain businesses you go into where Spanish is the primary language, and if I think I would be able to communicate with the owners better if I did have at least a working knowledge of Spanish.
In the world of business, do you think being bilingual is an asset? Why or why not?
Absolutely. We definitely are a country made of immigrants. We have a high influx of Spanish-speaking immigrants, and I do think that in order to ease their transition from their original countries to the United States, it would be nice to be able to communicate with them better.
Do you think students should learn to be bilingual? Yes or no, and why not?
Absolutely. I think that today it's much more of a benefit to them to be bilingual. I think employers look for that when you could put on your resume that you're bilingual. I think particularly in specific parts of the country, Sioux City is an example where having a Spanish background, or places like Texas or Florida or even California, where I think it just broadens your ability to get your dream job.
How, as students just going into the workplace, do you think this will help us?
The employers are always looking for differences on your resume. When you graduate, there'll be a lot of students that have a degree in business administration, and you need to have hits on your resume that distinguish you from others. And if you can say that you're bilingual and you're familiar with culture, that will just be an advantage to you, give you an advantage over other students with the same kind of degree.
Buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿cómo estás?
Bien. ¿Cómo te llamas y de dónde eres?
Me llamo Eric, soy originalmente de Bogotá, Colombia, pero nací en Curazao.
¿Cuál es tu área de estudio y qué quieres hacer cuando te gradúes?
Mi área de estudio es administración de empresas y contabilidad con mercadeo. Todavía no estoy muy certero de lo que quiero hacer cuando me gradúe, pues tengo unas opciones y cada una varía de costo y varía de locación, y todavía no estoy 100% seguro de lo que quiero hacer con mi futuro. Lo primero que quisiera hacer es obviamente graduarme y esperar poder continuar mi educación, sacar un máster o sacar un JD.
¿Cómo te ha ayudado ser bilingüe para llegar a donde estás?
Wow, ser bilingüe me ha ayudado mucho, la verdad, porque en otros países no es muy común hablar inglés. Entonces, cuando aprendí un segundo idioma, el beneficio fue mucho para mí, porque pude, ayudarme muchísimo para mis oportunidades de estudio. Pude mirar a universidades en Estados Unidos, en Europa, y no solamente en Colombia y en Latinoamérica. Entonces, ser bilingüe definitivamente me ha ayudado muchísimo para llegar a donde estoy hoy en día.
¿Cómo crees que ser bilingüe te ayuda en el futuro?
Wow, muy buena pregunta. Me parece que ser bilingüe, la verdad, es el futuro, porque digamos tú que estás estudiando administración como yo, hay un mercado que es completamente nuevo y desconocido para mucha gente que solamente habla inglés. Entonces poder hablar español y comunicarse con muchas más personas que son de el habla hispana da un beneficio enorme para todos los estudiantes. No solamente para los que estudian administración de empresas, sino también para los que estudian nursing o cualquier otra carrera. Pueden beneficiarse de una manera muy grande de ser bilingüe, porque no todo el mundo habla inglés, pero mucha gente habla español también. Entonces tener ambas sería como el arsenal perfecto para poder comunicarse con la mayoría de la gente en este mundo.
¿Cuál sería un buen consejo para los estudiantes en la clase de español?
Wow, otra excelente pregunta, Tavian. Wow. Tengo que decir que un buen consejo para los estudiantes de español en la clase del Dr. Suárez en este momento sería no dejar de estudiar español. El español es un idioma muy complejo y es muy difícil. El profesor Suárez es muy buen profesor. Sé que es de los mejores profesores que hay del español. Entonces sería hacer las tareas, estudiar, leer. El español no se aprende de un día para otro. Es muy importante ir a clase, hacer las tareas, escuchar al Dr. Suárez, porque, como lo he dicho antes, es un gran profesor, sabe lo que está haciendo. Y la verdad, ese es el único consejo que les puedo dar a los estudiantes en este momento. Si quieren aprender español, tienen las herramientas, tienen el libro, tienen el profesor. Lo que falta es, la verdad, ponerse a leer, ponerse a estudiar y practicar. Porque, o sea, un semestre vas a aprender los fundamentos, vas a aprender los básicos, pero en verdad para aprenderlo no solamente es el profesor, sino también falta tener mucho énfasis en el estudiante de querer aprender y pues querer aprender español, porque si un semestre no vas a aprender todo el español que quieres aprender para, la verdad, sacarle ventaja al idioma. Entonces ese sería mi único consejo, es estudiar, hacerle caso al Dr. Suárez y aprender lo más posible, sacar ventaja del gran curso de español que tenemos acá en Briarcliff.
Could you tell us your name and then also give a little background to your career?
Sure. My name is Dale DeYoung. I'm assistant professor in the business department at Briarcliff University. My PhD is specifically in international business and strategic management. Before that, I was involved in trading stock options for 20 years at the Chicago Board Options Exchange. And I've also owned, started, or managed over 35 companies.
Are you bilingual? If yes, how has this helped you throughout your career? If no, how could it have helped you through your career?
Well, I am bilingual, but it's in English and Dutch. And needless to say, being bilingual with Dutch is not much good. That was strictly from heritage. But I do believe that being bilingual is extremely important in the business world.
Can you tell about a specific time you used your skill or may have used your skill in the line of business?
Since I'm not bilingual as such, I believe that Spanish is an extremely important part. And there were several situations where companies I was involved with had employees that were Spanish. And had I been able to speak Spanish, it certainly would have made negotiations and interactions much smoother, and it would have been much more beneficial for the company as a whole.
Do you think students should learn to be bilingual, and why or why not?
I absolutely positively believe students should be bilingual. As a matter of fact, Dr. Rossi, who is the chair of the business department here at Briarcliff, is speaking with the Spanish professor here, and we are trying to work out a situation where you can have a double major in Spanish as well as in business. And that's how strongly we feel about having a second language in business.
How, as students just going into the workplace, do you think learning or knowing two languages will help us?
I think it's extremely important, especially if you're going into management. And, obviously the students I'm involved with are management students. And in this day and age, businesses are involved in international trade, no matter where you are in the world. As you know, we have a lot of companies based here in Sioux City, and in speaking with a lot of those companies, I have found out that they have, in fact, international connections. There's a engineering or a construction company here in town, and obviously the construction is local, but their engineering department does engineering projects for foreign companies. So consequently, it does not matter where you are, anywhere in the country. It is an extreme advantage to have a second language.
In the world of business, do you think being bilingual is an asset? Why or why not?
I think it's definitely an asset. When I was at Florida International, almost all the students were bilingual by nature, coming from South America and the Caribbean and Central America. And I used to consult them and tell them to make sure that everybody would put that on their applications, because in this day and age, when all the firms being involved in international business, these companies are looking specifically for students who are bilingual, and they will be given preference in hiring. And so it is extremely important for students to understand that and to make sure that whenever applying for a job of any kind of management position, that they let them know that they are bilingual.